Wish I knew what we was just talking about.
I bet you they do, but not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. That is in the archives. Then we also have the hip hop uh, historian himself, the red wine connoisseur Marquise in the building.
I guess everybody's trying to get ahead.
Mm, mm. Great that.
that was that was inside joke. You guys will never know what's going on with that. So first off, before we even
This just sounds really
it
bad. I'm like
does.
the only chick in here, and then y'all say things like this. It isn't me,
Listen,
everyone.
at this point, Mary,
Shit.
listen. Everybody already knows you more of a nigga than any three of us on this panel.
Ah, yo, I was thinking
Yo,
the same
like-
goddamn thing. I
And
really want to say you
she
niggas
did
ladies. Like, yo,
she do be playing a role though.
exactly.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
lady.
I'm a lady. I don't know what you speak of.
I don't get down with the fuckery, niggas.
So one thing that dropped literally right before we started, a couple hours before we started recording, I'm just gonna throw in here real quick. I sent it to you guys. Did you guys get to see the little like comedy promo clip for Mal and Rory's new podcast?
That shit was
That
hilarious.
shit was fucking awesome. I don't know if they're gonna be able to keep that vibe up, but that shit was fucking hilarious. All the little subtle shots of Joe Budden, that shit was fucking funny as hell. Mary Marquis, did you guys get a chance to watch it?
I did
Yes,
not.
and what was funnier was Joe Button's tweet after
Oh,
it.
he did. I haven't seen. What did he tweet?
He was like these shots with like those emojis, and it was like double entendre because was it those shots or was it the next shots? Like, pretty cool.
Okay, all right.
This is entertaining. This is like my novella now. So
It's so funny because hip hop is so watered down, and we have so many rappers in like the podcast space. It's just like podcast beef is generally whack as hell, but like this one is it's not really a beef. It's like people who know each other and like throwing those little digs. That's funny. That's funny. So like Rory's whole thing of like, well, I was an accountant, but I technically wasn't an accountant, and that's why I got fired from my last job because I asked about the accounting. It was just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was well written and well executed on their part.
So
If this is a part of a rollout, they doing a fucking
oh
good
yeah,
job.
the YouTube channel's launched. They already got over 22,000 subscribers to it. So
Yeah, that I have me tune in just off of that alone.
definitely. I mean, and then of course you have to see how it continues to go after like the whole Joe Budden thing has died down, because at the end of the day, that's only going to go so far. They have to have the content, the delivery, and a show that people are going to tune into. So that's going to be the interesting part of how they flesh that out.
But we already know when it comes to podcasting, well, anything, you just got to be consistent with it.
Definitely. Well, moving on to
Which we are.
We are definitely. Moving on from that. So former Empire star Bashir, is that you say Gray? And it's funny, Mary, didn't you like interview like his mom or something?
I did.
Yeah.
And his mom was a victim of domestic violence from his dad.
Okay.
And I interviewed her on a red carpet at an event celebrating victims of domestic violence. And she really did open up to me and told me how, like, he knocked her teeth out. So some of her teeth were fake. Like, it was a really serious situation. So I'm so disappointed to, like, see that he's doing that behavior that his mom survived. Like, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy that him seeing. And I guess it's not really crazy, isn't the word, because you see a lot of people who did witness domestic violence end up being in that themselves, whether they accept it or they become people who do domestic violence. And it sucks to see a young black man be caught up in something like that. And the fact that SWAT got involved, he's going to probably face some serious jail time. But it's just unfortunate. It's just an unfortunate situation. Marquis, you got anything to add?
Instead of your ass is great, your ass going to jail.
Are you and Baylor like having role reversal tonight?
It's like the battle of who can say the most dad jokes. It's hilarious.
Yes.
What about you, Baylor?
This kind of reminds me of the Chris Brown incident. You know what I mean? Because I know how protective, and just like all mama's boys, we're protective of our moms. But I remember him really speaking on before the Rihanna incident, like what his mom went through and things like that. And then you fast forward, you had the Rihanna incident. Uh, yeah, man. Once that SWAT team show up, it's over.
But I was gonna say only Jay-Z showed up. SWAT showed up here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. SWAT, like, what the fuck was going down to where SWAT needed to show up? Like, I
Do
can
you
see.
know what
Yeah.
has to happen when SWAT gets called in? Like
That's
you
you.
expect some heavy artillery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if he had guns in
Like
the
a
house
bomb
and he was
threat or
like
something.
not allowing her. I don't want to speculate. I don't even want to add that. But
You know,
just the
like you in
fact
an
that SWAT got
elevator
called
or
in,
something.
that's
Were they in an elevator? Because I mean, you know.
moving on. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna keep that right on moving. We are not even gonna go into that. So Drake brought his son out at the Billboard Music Awards, and the thing that's funny, it's great to see you do that. I'm a father. I love seeing shit like that, even if I don't. But what's funny is that Pusha T started trending after Drake brought out his son, which
This
is just
confirms that
fucking
Pusha
crazy.
won.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
Somehow,
another this
I
is
knew you
another
were gonna say
confirmation.
that, Baylor. I knew you were gonna say
What?
that.
Now, did
It's
you
the
guys
truth.
know? And I never seen this. There's actually an interview, and I can't remember the platform that Drake did like a year and a half ago, where he admitted that Pusha T won. So like everybody knows that Pusha won.
I just like to rub it in. I don't know, tripping.
Yeah, yeah. But
When push comes to shove.
but the fact that Pusha T was trending, it's just funny, and you saw all the tweets about Pusha bullying Drake into being a father and all that shit. But like,
Bullying. Oh my
and so
god,
it was on the Rap Radar podcast. Just doing real quick, and I'm quoting Drake directly. I tip my hat to the chess move. It was a genius play in a game of chess. It definitely warranted my first loss in the competitive sport of rapping. That is a quote from Drake about the beef with him and Pusha T.
That was beyond rap, bro. That was rape.
Yeah.
That was murder. Woo! It's the best fucking you ever had in your life, nigga. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Mary, you got
Bow out.
quiet over there. Anything to add?
No, I don't. I mean, like I said, the first person I thought of when I saw that was Baylor, and I was waiting for him to say what he said. So,
Fair
but
enough.
I mean, yeah, to that effect, it was that was serious. So,
Definitely. Something that didn't get much, at least news coverage where I'm at, maybe you guys being on the East Coast it did, and something that, in me researching for topics for this, there was a Universal Hip Hop Museum that did their first groundbreaking. People like LL Cool J, Nas, Little Kim, Fat Joe, Naughty by Nature, Grandmaster Flash, and Slick Rick all showed up to this groundbreaking, and it's apparently going to be in the Bronx. And so I wanted to put this on the list because who, if no one else, should be talking about a hip hop museum? We should be talking about it here on the number one podcast for the culture. What do you think about ground being broken for a physical hip hop history museum? And I'll go to the hip hop historian himself first. Marquis, why didn't you get hired for this? This is the perfect job for you.
Inquiring minds want to know. Hip hop started out in the Bronx, in the park. So that's everything. I love what they're doing. They're keeping hip hop alive, and there's a bridge that's being built, and it appears to be the forefathers, basically, Nas and the rest of them, where they're bringing the culture back, the purity of it all, and they're reminding you, like, look, there is a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and everything, but this is the true art, the true form of what hip hop was, and where we are now, the pop hop or whatever it is. I think it's important that these bridges get built so the new generation understands and respects the culture. So when we watch things like, The Heights or Hamilton, the roots of that came from pure hip hop. And this is what made it, mainstream and everything. But the artists, the people that are bringing this to life, I mean, remember, hip hop is a sport. This was battle. This was, camaraderie, yes, but you had a certain je ne sais quoi that you had to have, a certain bravado. Now that you have all these uh, brilliant minds aligned, it's magnificent. And what they're doing for what they're going to use the other portion of the buildings for,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
amazing. That's fucking amazing. See,
yeah.
that's giving back. This is where it started off.
542 units of permanently affordable housing.
What else could you ask for? Like, they're not only creating a museum, they're also creating, homes where people can afford this shit. That shit, I love it. I love it. I mean, I can go on this topic all day, but I think this is probably one of some of the best news I've heard this month. Seriously, almost this year. Like a lot's happened. This is fucking magnificent.
Absolutely, absolutely, Mary.
I mean, it's dope. It's actually been in the works for a really long time. Like I'm talking years. So to finally see the groundbreaking come to fruition was really cool. It was all over the news here in New York. But I guess that's for obvious
I know.
reasons.
I didn't know about the affordable housing though. I knew about this, but that's
Yeah,
insane.
no, that is dope. But I mean, and we need, and I think there's more of this in the works, but we definitely need more, organizations that pay homage to hip hop, but also fulfill hip hop's mission, right? Because hip hop was born of struggle, and it was really like struggle music. It was like people who were feeling oppressed expressing, and especially in the Bronx, during political turmoil during that time. I mean, I don't know if everyone's seen The Get Down here, but if that was such a history lesson in the politics in the Bronx that basically gave way to the birth of hip hop. And it was so beautifully done. I felt like we talked about The Get Down
Yeah,
in another episode
we did
in the past. Yeah. But yeah, so honestly, I think it really is like a great marriage of the mission and the legacy. So I'm hyped for it.
Awesome, Baylor.
I had a joke when Marquise had brought up, them building a bridge. Um, it had something to do towards Queens, but by them placing it in the Bronx, it's just dope. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Mary and Keith said what they said. The bridge is not over.
The bridge is not over. Very good.
Fair enough. Let's move into the next topic. So we got a couple of things coming from Verzuz. First, the rematch that was, hyped a little bit, but we didn't know who exactly was going to be, has now been officially said that it's going to be Timberland versus Swiss, a rematch of the first Verzuz. What do you guys think about this?
Well, first of all, what I think is, are y'all going to be in the group chat with me for this one?
We were in the group chat for the last one with you. Come on now, give us some credit. I know we had a rough patch there, but we stepped it up. We stepped it up. Yes, we'll be there. I'll be there at least.
Okay, so here's my feedback. I feel like, what are they going to do that they haven't already done? Because I saw the performance that sparked the idea for Verzuz at Summer Jam, right? So there was that one. And then they had the actual Verzuz against each other. So I'm curious to see, like, if there's going to be a different spin on it.
I think what we've seen Verzuz become now with, like, random appearances, like, I really think what I expect this one to be is we're going to see a lot of faces that actually perform the music that they're going to be putting out there. And I think that's what's going to make it different.
Okay.
I also think Swizz is cheating because X album's coming out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a little push, but I agree. That'd be dope. If those performances, the artists come out and perform, that'd be magnificent. Yeah. That's my new word for today. Magnificent.
That'll be the name of the episode. There you go. Magnificent. Baylor, this Sunday.
Cheers.
This Sunday, Swiss Beats versus Timberland in a rematch. What's your expectations for it?
I don't care. Look, at this point, I feel like if there's not like, and don't get me wrong, they are legendary, but I'm looking for legendary artists or I'm looking for the antics. So this one I might not care about, but I'm definitely tuning in to see Soulja Boy Bow Wow.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay, all right. But in general, like that's going to be my interest, depending on who they. Like, I'm not tuning in every week, or I'm not tuning in every matchup because I honestly don't care about every matchup.
We got to get an appearance from Missy Elliott on this one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah.
On the Timberland side, yeah.
For sure. You almost have to. And I mean, this is you already know, Swizz is gonna play the bath salt song. He has to. At that point, it'll be officially released, so we're definitely gonna get that. And I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of ends with that, and we get Jay's. Oh no, that's the thing. I don't see. I can see Nas showing up. I can't see Jay showing up for something like that.
But if he did,
yeah. Now, if they want to leave us with an impression, having Jay come out to
Mm-hmm.
do that verse would be fucking you. It'd be bananas. It shut
It's
everything down.
different.
Yeah.
It's different.
But Baylor, I'll come to you first on this one since you already alluded to it. Soulja Boy versus Bow Wow. This I don't understand this one because I personally think that Bow Wow is gonna wash him, but that's just my opinion. What do you think, Baylor?
Oh yeah, look, I'm not care. I don't care who gonna win. Like I just want to hear them talk.
Oh yeah,
That's it, man. It's more. It's probably more so on Soldier Boy side.
for sure.
I'm just here for the characters. And you know what? They had some tracks though.
Yeah,
You
I
know
don't
what I
know if
mean?
they
Now
got
this
20
was
each, but they at least got about 12 each.
well, what the one thing that Versus has taught us is that some of these cats were involved in some stuff that we did not know.
That is true.
So we might find out that Soldier Boy, everything Soldier Boy claimed that he was behind, you know what I mean?
You
It
know what?
might be
And what's funny is that did you guys see the social media reaction when people realized that She Make It Clap song was a Soldier Boy song? People had no fucking idea. And like to see,
really
yeah, which I knew it from the first, like he literally says soldier within the first 5 seconds of the song. So like people who
right.
didn't know, just again, this is why people don't listen to lyrics. They literally don't listen to anything but the chorus. Because to see so many people be shocked that it was a Soldier Boy song was like, how did you know? He literally says Big Draco and Soldier the first 10 seconds of the song. But side note,
Yeah,
I don't want to get us
yeah.
derailed with Baylor.
It kind of hurt. It kind of this what bothers me about hip hop is that I honestly believe that we do need subcategories because I think more artists would be appreciated more when you place everything under hip hop.
Mhm.
You'll have some of the old heads and the younger. That's where we clash
Yeah.
because cats that grew up in the late '70s, early '80s, it's going to argue probably with the '90s, the golden era, and then you got the early 2000s, and then you have now or the 2010s and stuff like that. And it's like we've created so many subcategories where we're putting it in one gumbo pot. And when you put too much shit in one pot, it might not taste that good.
That's fair. That's fair. Marquis?
Um. So yeah, I like Soldier Boy shit. You remember that song Wowzers on I'm Not a Human Being Too? My tongue is an Uzi, my dick is an AK
Mm-mm.
with Trina and Lil Wayne.
It's literally not ringing a single bell.
The beat
Mm-mm.
is hard. When he
Okay.
first came out, I was like, who the fuck did this beat? It was him. Soldier got some shit. I
Wait,
was watching this
Soldier produced this?
Soldier. Yes.
I didn't even fucking know that. I had no fucking idea.
Yes.
Okay, well.
Yeah. And as soon as it starts off, he said Soldier on the track. Soldier on the beat. Yeah, he produces too. It was
Okay.
funny. I was watching this little video. I don't know if y'all caught it. Where this guy said how to make Soldier Boy appear. And he went in the bathroom and said, I was the first nigga to in Soldier Boy appear. Nigga, I was the first nigga to do anything. Nah, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, Bow Wow's a legend, so shout out to Bow Wow.
It's gonna be
That's
interesting
about
just to see
Weezy.
like the way Soldier Boy tells stories, the way that he's animated and everything is gonna be a great night.
Drake,
Mary, what do you think?
Drake.
Mary, what's your expectations for Soldier Boy versus Bow Wow?
Well, my initial thoughts were, and I put this in our group chat, that Soldier Boy does not have enough joints to really compete with Bow Wow. From a commercial standpoint, Bow Wow had way more. I mean, and started way earlier. Um, but there are probably a lot of little nuggets, like Marquis just pointed out, that might keep might surprise people and keep Soldier Boy in the game. So I guess we'll see. I can't say this is the one I'm most excited about, but yeah, I'm gonna be there for it. For
I
the culture.
I just did a quick search on Soldier Boy songs, right? And all right, so just off the top, we got "Kiss Me Through the Phone," "Crank That," "Pretty Boy Swag," "Turn My Swag On," "Soldier Girl," "Donk," "She Make It Clap," "Bird Walk," and that's really.
Yo, he
Superman.
got some
Oh
he
yeah,
got some
Superman.
haymakers though.
Yeah,
He got some haymakers
Booty
though.
Meat. I forgot about that one. I mean, and that's just his songs. That's not even counting
Yeah,
the
we
shit
don't
that
know.
he appeared on. So he may have the 20.
Hey, I don't, y'all look at it as a lot. I don't. because we came into these battles before thinking that it was gonna be lopsided on one side, and then nah, I think this was probably the most. Besides the Fab and Jada, this is probably the most even one to me. I would say this: Bow Wow can probably extend his catalog a little bit longer than Soulja Boy, but I think Soulja has enough to, go to the fourth quarter.
Mm.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
But I just want to be there for the entertainment. That's it. I don't really
I
care.
feel that.
They got their flowers on the music. I ain't tripping about that. I just want to hear them talk.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right.
If
Moving
I
on.
could put them, if I could put them two in a room with Ghost and,
Wow.
and Raekwon, I want to see that, man. That's entertainment right
No,
there.
because somebody end up getting smacked. Like that's just what will
And
happen.
Ghost will do the smacking.
Exactly. Like yeah,
Yo.
somebody
Raekwon would as well.
somebody literally gonna
Ghost,
get smacked.
Ghost.
Like all right,
He made his own video game system, so
man, listen. All right, we're moving on from that bullshit. DMX. They released a song from his upcoming album. This one is DMX and Griselda called Hood Blues. Who wants to take this one away first? What's your opinion on this track?
Them DMX probably should have went. He should have went first on that one
Okay. Is that your only
because
critique of it?
them Griselda niggas, they man. It seemed like they sent that shit right back. Like we're done, buddy. And they did that. They did that.
I wonder if this was like supposed to be a Griselda song featuring DMX and it didn't make the album or something, and they gave it to him
that's what
for
it
this.
sounded like.
Because
Yeah.
that's what that that's what that sounds like.
I almost feel like it is wrong for us to critique Exodus and anything off of it.
Why is that?
No, I don't.
It's so fresh. Like X just left us. You know what I mean?
It is super fresh, but like correct me if I'm wrong. This album was completed before he passed, right? Like this was going to be the album regardless. Okay.
It was. I don't know about production wise if it was completed, but I do know that, yeah. But still, it just feels like no matter what, this is going to be sacred to me because this was his parting gift to us. So I think I'll reserve any negative commentary regardless.
That's fair. I respect that. Respect that. Marquis?
As far as parting, I love the shots of him and his kids and stuff like that. I love watching like those things. His album is just going to be his album. I think it was recorded, like you said prior to this. The guest appearances make it great, but I love the images of him with his kids. Like that's all I can think of right now with X. I do miss him, but all that uncovered story, the stories we're starting to hear about him behind the scenes and everything. I love that.
Yeah, definitely. X was a special dude, and it's like there was a video I started to repost, but I was like, you know what, I don't know, but if him talking about he was supposed to do a remix with Sean Paul, and they didn't want to send him the track, and like the whole way that he ended it, saying like, yeah, X was just a crazy dude, and he was fucking, and he loved music. That was the thing. You can get that from like he loves music, not even just rap, music. Period. So
I mean, one of my favorite videos of him that emerged like at it was prior to his passing, but when he was sick or whatever, was him like jamming out to Lisa Lisa.
Oh yeah.
Like he was literally like backstage at a concert with freestyle music, like jamming. So yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Well,
we won't see.
Go ahead.
Just how will we ever see that again?
What?
Like that type of personality in hip hop, or just that.
Oh no,
magnitude.
never.
I don't think we can duplicate.
Not even hip hop, but think about all the personalities we get to see now, all the celebrities, podcasters, everything like that. Are we ever going to see something like that again?
No, because even with all the amount of personality we get, it all seems artificial. Like there's nobody who's going to be not afraid or open enough to share their darkness with us like they did, like DMX did. Like part of the reason like we all have an affinity for DMX because we basically got to see him go from somebody who like literally like talked about depression, openly cried or whatever, to seeing him be this like old man who just had fun and like was dead. Like him passing Annihilators out at the Verzuz is fucking one of the best moments for the culture of all the verses. Like I don't think there ever will be another one like DMX. I don't think with the mind frame that this generation has, that even if there was somebody, they wouldn't make it as big as DMX was able to make it.
And I don't want them to be like that, but I'm just be as genuine and as real and as reachable. Like Jay is not reachable anymore. Like you're not reaching Jay. You know what I mean? Like he's untouchable. He's behind the scenes. No one, there's no access to any of our artists. And I'm not saying I'd like to break bread with them, have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like to be a real person or to see their story, see their struggles. What we see is real. Like I love that about X. And yeah, I mean Nas is doing this thing, which I appreciate for the culture. But again, Nas is on his throne. You know what I mean? So it's not, you're not going to see that dark side. You're just going to see exactly what he wants you to see because he's a businessman. I don't know of any personalities like.
We won't. I think that's why we
listen,
get.
let
I
me
think
tell
that's
you
why we
another
get emotional.
legendary X moment for me in the vein of this conversation was when he went on 106 in Park and he was like, "Yeah, this is gonna be my last album because I have a family to feed and niggas ain't paying me." So I think that's super whack. It was just like, I mean, I remember being like in high school when that happened, but I still was like, "Yeah, he should be paid." Like, so yeah, I don't think anyone speaks. I think everyone is so, especially with social media now, everyone's so hyper aware of their image that people aren't as candid anymore. Like, so we'll never really see a bad guy like that again.
I don't think there's people like that in general. I think everybody is a one of one. No matter how many traits they have of another person, they are one on one. We're not going to get another Michael Jordan because even Kobe Bryant wasn't Michael Jordan, and we're not going to get another Kobe Bryant. We're not going to get another Nipsey who bought the same plaza that he was kicked out of. We're not going to get a DMX. I would love to kick it, just chill. Don't talk any business, no none of that. I would just love to chill with Old Dirty Bastard right now. We're not gonna get characters like that no more. And when I say characters, that's not a disrespect. That's part of their personality. That's real right there. Everybody is different. You know what I mean? I might take some traits from Marquise and Mary and Hayes, but I'm still Baylor at the end of the day, and nothing can replace that. Not even their seeds.
But what I think what Mary was touching on is to be as genuine and not afraid of being canceled. This is who I am. This is what I believe in. I have my shit. I'm putting it out there for you, for the world to see, and I have no problem with it. I accept who I am. You need to accept me, and if you don't, fuck it. The Pox, the ODBs. You know what I mean? Like we don't have that.
I think the viral world messed that up. I think the death of Nipsey messed that up to where when you are able to go up to someone and actually physically touch them, that is over because of what happened with him. I think it's over in general because the real authentic personalities, if they keep it that way, that's not gonna go viral. That's just for their cult
we
fan.
live in a world of Tekashi 6ix9ine now, where everything is heightened. Like even if it is an aspect of your personality, it's heightened to make it seem like it's bigger than what it is. Like I don't think we have the genuineness that we did have with most of these artists.
There's one person I know who just doesn't have the personality, that doesn't give a shit about anybody's opinion, Kyrie Irving. But the shit that comes out of his mouth, man, it's not executed correctly.
I think. Oh
yeah. But the thing is that you have to not only be open, you have to be relatable. Kyrie Irving is no longer relatable to any fucking body.
He's very introvert. He's an introvert, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean it's a combination of.
But when you talk about a player like Ron Artest that doesn't mind going up to Venice Beach and playing in black Air Force Ones with total strangers, that's what
he was definitely in that class of people who just was unapologetically himself.
Mm-hmm.
But his talent made it where everyone embraced it.
and this the cool part about it, like, and I'm talking to everybody in the world, like we know, when you're in front of a real person. We know when it's authentic, and we can tell when you putting it on for a show. We can tell when you want to go viral.
Yeah. Did everybody watch that Ron Artest documentary? Oh my God! One of my favorite lines. He said he was talking to Kobe, and Kobe got mad at him. He was like, Kobe, my name is World Peace now. He was like, bruh, how do you think you get peace? Through war. Get aggressive.
All right. Well, there you have it. All right, moving on from that one. It's time for Black People Like Rock 2, presented by the one and only Marquis. What's going on, bro? What you got for us today?
What the D? Last week we talked about 21 Pilots album. Again, they did that soundtrack or the song Heathens for the Suicide Squad soundtrack. Album came out. So that's my album review. In the vein of Rock the Bells, actually had one of the greatest guitarists, Tom Morello, who is the founder or co-founder of Rage Against the Machine, also the band he founded with Chris Cornell, Audio Slave. He also did a few things with Public Enemy, Be Real. He's actually featured, on Rock the Bells radio as, speaking about what he does, how he did it. And in that vein, I would like to talk about some of the greatest Black guitarists. Any you guys, aside from, of course, the Jimi Hendrix, Prince, anyone you guys have an affinity for?
You knocked out my two, so
Go for it.
no, I said you knocked out my two.
Oh, Slash from Guns N' Roses.
He was biracial, right?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay.
Right. I wasn't thinking of him either, but
Okay.
B.B. King, Lenny Kravitz,
true.
Muddy Waters,
I gonna bring up
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry, Bo Diddley.
Ike.
Yeah. Ike.
I didn't want to
mean,
bring him up, but
I mean,
I'm just, you know what, Baylor? That's it.
no, but
the way this fucking show jumps to, oh shit.
it'd be Marquis'
Okay,
fault, man.
Marquis. Got one that you didn't mention, unless I missed you
Go
saying
ahead.
his name. We didn't say James Brown, which is a huge travesty.
Okay.
On top of that,
And Prince.
when he did,
Prince.
he said Prince.
I said Prince.
Oh.
Curtis Mayfield.
Ooh.
Mm.
Ooh.
Mm. Okay. George Clinton, right?
Did he actually play the
Okay.
guitar?
True.
Yeah, he played guitar. Yeah.
All right.
Who's playing the guitar in Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Good question.
Good question. We should find that out.
Y'all got computers.
Wait
Come
a
on.
second.
Okay.
Pause everything. Quest fucking Love, bro.
He plays guitar?
Fuck yeah, Quest Love plays the guitar.
I thought he
That's
played,
crazy.
He played the drums.
He plays the guitar.
He plays the
I did
guitar
not know
too.
that. I never. He
Uh,
doesn't play guitars for the Roots.
Yes, he
Shout
has.
out to a good Aquarian brother right there. Who
Wait,
is in tune with his vibrations. He had a dope post just before I joined the show that I was very inspired by.
Okay.
Marquise,
Yes, sir.
Tito Jackson.
All right, so
He played bass.
That's not. I'm dead serious.
all right.
I thought he played
You know
bass.
why do you always have to find the toxic people?
Because
Oh,
he is
my.
a toxic motherfucker. Like that.
Tito James. I mean Jackson. I said Tito James.
James,
Goodbye.
goddamn. Alan Wolf. God
Yeah.
damn, bro. You know what?
Marquise,
You
Tito
don't like
Jackson
rock as
wasn't
much.
killing it. Tito Jackson wasn't killing it for the Jackson 5.
I don't know. I thought he was playing
You know
bass.
what
I
you
didn't know he
mean?
was playing
What you
guitar.
mean? No, no.
I said he played
Wait a second.
bass.
Wasn't Jermaine the guitar player?
Anyway, what's going on, ladies?
It could have been both of them. Look, hey, Pops with their ass so much they probably all could play the guitar.
All right. Anything left? What else you got for us, Marquis? Before we move.
Two things for you. And next week we'll talk about this. Number one, finding out Johnny Cash's first wife was actually black. I have to dig into that because,
Did
Number
they
two,
conveniently leave that out of the film?
conveniently.
So yeah,
I gotta talk to the
I'll be
Joker.
super interested to talk about that next week because that
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
when that got in our group chat. I literally because I watched that film and I'm like, wait a second, that wasn't what happened. Wait, that wasn't in the film. I think Mary even
She was
mentioned
Liddy.
it, didn't you, Mary?
I'm glad you said that. I got something that I want to
I
bring up
did.
next week too.
Okay, what's that?
Replicas.
Mm. In hip hop
Replica.
specifically?
No, 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 no. Oh no, I remember Fab got hit a long time ago. I got a story about that. No, but replicas in general in the shoe game right now.
Oh, okay, cool. Definitely. We'll put that on the
Mm.
list. That'll be a good one for
Okay.
next week.
Replicas or bootlegs? Because I got a story to tell about that.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah,
Bootlegs,
you do. I know
boot,
about that one, but
bootlegs.
yeah.
I'm scary of, but the replicas, man, I got something for that one.
All right, cool.
So
That's on the list for
my
next
last
week.
thing, I do want to review Aaron Jones' album. He's from Seattle, black rocker. He kind of sounds. You can hear the influence of Nirvana, but not as grunge. But I do want to review that album next week. I heard some snippets. Sounds pretty good. But Aaron, we want to get you up and interview you. So get ready.
Oh, and Marquise, I do want
Yes,
to
sir.
do this. Like at least I don't know, maybe like once or twice a month, send me an album or two to listen to.
Okay, you got it.
All right, cool. Moving in as we get ready to head down towards the last couple of topics in the show, we got Jay Z will actually be appearing on the first episode of the new season of The Shop, Uninterrupted, which is LeBron James' series. I know we talked about him not showing up for something like Versus, but are we surprised that he's showing up to this? Are we surprised that this is something he's confirmed to do?
Yes and no. Yes, that he's actually showing up. No, because it is Bron, and I feel like them two got something cooking together.
Mm,
I was just gonna say that too. I'm wondering if this has something to do with his next move. Like,
mm, okay.
Jay-Z strategic.
Yeah.
He's
P.S. The
strategic.
Knicks
He's
are
on
up.
this.
How much time left?
It's
See what he has.
about 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
You're on mute.
They're up by 10.
Uh,
You're on mute.
that's too much
Attention
time.
must be paid to this shit, okay? Because New York. Anyway,
Yeah.
Mary been real
No,
spicy lately.
that was a nice plug. You
spicy.
going away
Yeah, real
this
spicy.
weekend, right?
Real spicy.
You going away this weekend, right?
Huh?
Okay.
I know, pun intended.
Oh yeah, that
Although
was
I'm not
absolutely
going to be there, but
that was absolutely intentional.
Head south.
um, but my thing is like I don't know. The shop typically people are really open about stuff. I just don't see Jay opening up very much in a forum like this. So, and I didn't think about it with the way that you painted it. If this is basically going to be built around an announcement or even a tease for his next move, it makes more sense. I just don't see this being what you're used to getting from the shop and the depth of the conversations there because that Jay-Z just doesn't do that. But I may be wrong on that one. Mary, what do you think?
I mean, like I said before, it feels like it might have something to do with whatever is his next move, why he's selling off all of his assets to make room for. I don't know. I mean, Jay-Z is a little unpredictable these days in terms of what he chooses to get involved with, but he's definitely nothing if not strategic. So I definitely know this is a move.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah,
I'll
and
say this.
sometimes I underestimate. My bad, Marquise.
No. Go ahead.
Sometimes we underestimate the power of the ego. Sometimes Jay Z might just want to come out and show his face sometime.
Mm.
Let niggas know, yo, I'm still here. You know?
What if it's an album announcement?
No, let's not. Please don't. Please don't. So, there are only 5 people that I think can get LeBron out. That LeBron is one of them. Obama, Nas, Bay, and probably
Soulja
Bezos or
Boy.
something like that.
Soulja Boy wishes that I'm sorry, Jay-Z wishes that Soulja Boy would give him the time. You know, Soulja Boy actually wrote the blueprint, all of the songs in the blueprint.
I believe you.
Even Eminem's verse.
Yeah, he wrote that one too.
Just stop. Don't even play like that. We don't want to mislead our listeners.
They know sarcasm when they hear it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I can see LeBron and Jay are cool, so I can see that happening.
Yeah.
If that's coming back, because I mean, think about it. LeBron had Obama on there, so that's a platform for us. So I can see him doing it. But yeah, the announcement's coming. It's clear. The announcement. Friday's gonna be a big day.
There's a lot
X
of
is
shit
coming out
happening
Friday.
There is
Yo,
a
it's
lot
gonna be
And
a
of
there's
big
shit
a
weekend.
happening
full
Friday.
moon, guys. There's a full moon in Sagittarius.
And also, don't
And-
forget that wasn't it Memorial Day when Pusha dropped Story of Adidon? So it's literally going to be it's a great weekend overall.
Yo, Pusha, where you at, man? Come on, bro. Drop something.
Fair enough.
Push.
Moving into that, The Shy. We talked about it. We talked about the new season started. There's been one episode released so far. I'm just gonna get my thoughts about this off, and we'll take it from here. The problem with that I see The Shy falling into is that we know why. We're not gonna get into all the whys because that's already been talked about and documented. But there were so many important characters that between the end of season 2 to the end of season 3, they didn't come back for whatever reasons. And all the characters that they replaced them with have not been as strong as the characters that came before them. And I feel like that's starting to be. It was felt last season, but you kind of said maybe they're just finding their ground with having such a big change to the cast. But this first episode to me was just like all I could think about is how much better some of this would have been if we still had some of the characters from the original ones from the first season. It feels it's shot very beautifully. The actors did great jobs, but it's just the thing that made The Shy special to me just isn't there anymore. To me, what did you guys think about it?
So I haven't had time. I'm a huge fan of the show. I haven't had time to get around to this first episode, unfortunately, but I do agree with what you said, right? And let's be real and address the elephant in the room there. At least 3 characters I could think of have not returned or were killed off because of personal reasons that were not really the show's intention. So that did take a toll on the show. And to hear you say that you're feeling it in this 3rd season, in the opening of it, is kind of like, damn. But I think it's a well-written show, and it's like you said, it's beautifully shot. And I mean, from what I hear, so I have people in The Shy, so from what I hear, it's definitely, authentic to the experience of being from the hood there. And I feel like it's really important to tell those stories. So I think regardless, we got to keep telling that that story. So I'll have more to come next week, I guess. But yeah.
All right, cool. Who wants to take it next? Bailiff, Marquis?
I haven't seen the first episode yet. I'm actually watching that tonight, but I've heard nothing but complaints about it, and it's been the same complaints I've been hearing for maybe the last season. I know that a lot of people had a problem with the 3rd season. I will say this. Just like Mary said, when it first popped off, especially the first season, a lot of Chicago people stamped it and said this is as accurate as you can get. As it went on, I started to see more and more complaints pile up. And and some of it was, it wasn't actually the show's fault. Because remember, we had some artists some actors that had to leave because of off the court issues. You know what I mean? And then we had some people that were killed off because of some personal beliefs or whatever. So they, just like any TV show or any movie, when you lose key characters, you have to somehow try to, fix it or make it make sense. Um, and I've been just today alone, I've been having a lot of people tell me, you watch the first episode, then let's talk about it next week. So I'll have to watch it to see what people are actually complaining about before I could even say anything.
Marquis?
Are the Knicks up?
That by two with 4 minutes left.
Oh
Terrible.
My God.
Or De Blasio steps in here again. Oh.
But nothing on The Shy?
I'm not shy. I'm pretty outspoken.
Okay. So The Shy, just to kind of bring it all home, they lost Jason Mitchell, the guy who played Ronnie, Tiffany Boone, of course. Detective Cruz, who was a main character. Q, who I thought was going to come back, but he was killed off between seasons again, between 2 and 3. Reggie, we lost Reggie as well. Because we lost Jason Mitchell character Brandon, we lost his mother, who was a solid character in the show, not anything like super into it, but so that right there is 5 main characters who were lost in this show. And the people that they didn't get anybody to replace Jason. They kind of moved Emmett into that, and cool actor, but his storyline isn't nearly as the fact that they try to make him the new Brandon by like giving him the food truck and the shit. It just none of it felt organic, and it feels like they were like season 3 was the scramble to figure it out, and it doesn't feel like they've. Do you guys see that with Mary? Or is that
I know, yeah, I've seen that too. What the hell?
Mary has been possessed.
I wasn't possessed. I'm watching the Knicks. And they just hit a 3.
So it's
effect that's going on.
It's just difficult for any show to lose. I can't think of a show that ever lost that many characters that didn't take at least a season or so to get their footing. And luckily the numbers are still pretty good. So it doesn't seem like they're in risk to be canceled or anything, but hopefully, they can get that together as we move forward with that show and to see what they can do in the future.
Well, to your point though, when a show does lose a huge character like that, we're going to wonder how, like, what's the next step? Because I still think we should have Man Boy. You know what I mean? Like, that's a huge
I cannot
character.
with you.
No, but what I'm saying is The Shy is not that type of show that Snowfall is. But we expect certain characters to be killed off at some point. The
Well,
Shy
in that
killed
vein,
out.
I'm wondering where are these Power spinoffs? Like, what happened?
Well,
I thought by the summer we'd have them.
But the point I'm trying to get
production got slowed down COVID.
Yeah.
But the point I was trying to get at is building some characters.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You know what I mean? And we haven't seen that. They tried it with Emmett, but all those little stories with Inside the Shy was dope because all of them were there. But when you took some stories away, you tried to build the other one up. That's not that dope.
Yeah.
I do want to take this time to just shout out the greatest death I've ever seen, and you brought it up, Man Boy. Oh, I'm about to die and shit. Fuck you, you bitch ass nigga. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you ain't shit too.
No, you forgot.
You
Finish me off.
Blah, blah, blah. Sorry. Finish me off, nigga, you bitch ass motherfucker. Franklin, you ain't shit. Bow, bow, bow. That's when your bitch fucking.
Hey, Marquise. Hey, Marquise, what's up, y'all? I'm Tupac.
Please stop.
Those two definitely belong in the same file.
I'm gonna have to tell him everything I know.
Oh shit.
That goes there too.
That motherfucker. Shit.
Oh,
God,
man.
All right.
So yeah,
moving in to our last topic today, and unfortunately, I struggle with where to put this in, and I figured it'll probably be best for last. Black Lives Matter activist Sasha Johnson in critical condition after being shot in the head. And the thing that sucked about this is that I feel like for the first day, mainstream news didn't pick up on it at all. Now it's come a little bit since then, but still not even as much as that you would think. You have a young woman who was attacked and shot in the fucking head, regardless of what she believed in or not. And for the news not to pick this up is disgusting, to be 100% honest. Who wants to take this one away first?
I'll do it since I sent it. Yo, how I found this shit was amazing. So my phone, for some reason, when I went to the UK, is still set in the UK. My main phone. My other phone is here. I just happened to find it on that phone. You understand what I'm saying? That's some fucked up shit. I have no idea or understand. I can't even comprehend how this shit isn't bigger amongst us or anyone than it is. Like, this should be national fucking news. Seriously. I don't understand how this didn't make it to mainstream. No trending topic. We can talk about who's canceled. We can talk about, the fact that J. Cole mentioned Bill Cosby in the verse. Mm-hmm. We can't talk about this. See, this is the shit that fucks me up. Seriously. I know I bullshit and have fun every day, but shit like this is disgusting. We can talk about how black people are attacking Asians, and now we're the ones who are committing hate crime. We didn't do the studies about the statistics of how many people were assaulted by black people, Asians, versus white people that assaulted Asians. That wasn't looked up, but still, this isn't a topic.
I mean, I agree with you. I mean, who can disagree? It's disgusting. It's the fact that it's just something that is like getting swept under the rug is fucking ridiculous. Baylor, what do you think?
When you sent it, the first thing that popped in my head is that, and I ain't gonna say I've been holding it in for like a month and a half, but a month and a half ago, I noticed when I was picking my son up from school, he pointed out, he was like, "Yo, we got a student here that walks around. I seen a kid walking around with a flag, right? A huge ass flag that's attached to his backpack, and it's the Blue Lives Matter flag, right? And he's just walking home, and I was like, "Yo, is that what I think?" He was like, "Yep." And he was like, he brings that to school every single day. I didn't see it. I didn't see that kid for a whole month and a half until a couple of days ago this week. He was there again, and the first thing that popped in my head was like, nobody said anything to him or anything like that. And I'm like, I wonder if a student would get suspended or expelled, or if something would happen to him if he went to school with a Black Lives Matter flag.
Mm.
That's the first thing that popped in my head. And talking to my son about that, I was like, look, um, we started talking about the freedom of speech and stuff like that. I said, just know where the exit is at. That's just all I told him. I was like, do you know what that means? And he said, yes, I do.
So, really quick, I know that Facebook and the rest of them are under fire, especially like in Australia and Canada, for anything that's deemed as political when it comes to like COVID, vaccinations, blah blah blah. So they suppress a lot of information. This didn't hit none of them. And again, I bring this up and I talk about the black players owning their own league. When are we going to get our own social media? Not Black Twitter, but when are we going to get our own social media where we can actually discuss shit like this and bring this to the mainstream masses, where we can start taking this shit serious? Again, this didn't trend and it's still not trending.
Yeah. And we're at the we're in the days where certain information like what you sent us got to go to it has to hit the shade room or something like that for it to go viral.
That is 100% fact.
It ain't on Blavity. Where is it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's just the unfortunate thing. It's up to us to educate. It's up to us to have that conversation. It's up to us to use what we have, like with this platform, and talk about it. Because if we rely on mainstream media or the lamestream media is what it's becoming, it will never get out there. And so that's why we have to have these conversations. That's why it's important, and it's good that we do have the platform that we do.
And like you said last week when we were talking about PTSD and the issues that we face as far as psychological issues and why we need therapy, there you go. Here's a perfect example. If this was Joe Biden's son or something like that, or anybody like, or this Proud Boy, whatever the fuck his name is, that'd have been national news. Oh, justice for him and shit like that. Seriously, I've been angry. I've been angry for a while, but this is what I'm talking about. Last week we had this conversation on why it's not fair. We're not treated equal, and it's beyond that. Like shit like this again is, I don't know. Some dude can call it the
Could you
Kung
imagine
Flu,
if
and now we have an
if this was
investigation.
Tommy Lauren?
Oh
Bruh,
man.
Or fuck it,
Oh
let's
man.
keep it as another black woman. If this happened to Candace Owens, it'll be plastered all over every fucking thing.
everywhere. And it probably some black on black or something. They probably make it something like that. Or whatever the fuck. So, look, Sasha, man.
And we have it's funny.
In London! In London!
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny that this is happening, around the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa massacre. And
A
I have
year
on the
from
shirt You know,
I was
it's
about to say we need to cop
yeah.
that
A
shirt.
year from
Oh, a year from
Hey, and
George
without
Floyd.
what?
Yeah, it's,
Hey, and without even before I even just checked the docket, I threw this shirt on just randomly, but it just says Black women.
see. But you know,
shout out Yum.
it's a yeah. Shout out to you. Absolutely, make sure you guys are checking out Young Urban Moms. But unfortunately, that's the last topic for today. I wish we could pick it back up, but I mean, this is just the reality of it, and this is why when like Marquis says he's angry, like it's upsetting. We are fucking angry, and we should have the right to be angry and call out this bullshit because we lose people all the time in our culture, and it comes and goes. If it's not Prince and Michael Jackson, the mainstream doesn't really care. So,
Yeah.
but another episode of the Breaks Radio. Yeah, there's no positive way to kind of close out the show this week, unfortunately. Educate yourself, educate the people around you. Mary, you first. Plug your social media. Let's get up out of here.
So I'm at Miss Mary Almonte on all social platforms, at Young Urban Moms, and at Just Spice with a Y TV show.
Marquis?
Oh, you can follow me at hashtag Sasha Johnson.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Baylor?
At Baylorism on Twitter, at Baylor the Great on every other platform out there. Yo, man. That's it, man.
You can follow
That's
me
it.
at CEO Hayes, at CEO HAIZ. As I said, this weekend is the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa massacres. Educate yourselves on it if you don't know. I can't say enough. When I posted this T-shirt, like how many people asked me, like, what is that about? Like, and this is old people. Like, this is like my mom and them's family. So like, educate the people around you. Don't let them ever think that we forget about what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Don't let them paint that away in history as something that they hope that we're just forgetting, because it's not. And it's an important part of our culture that we keep the memory and the remembrance of what happened there, because it shows that what we can build, what we can do if we work together in of ourselves, and just build something in our community. So that's what Black Wall Street means to me, and hopefully it means something to everyone else too. This has been another episode of The Breaks Radio. You can follow us collectively at The Breaks Radio. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, thebreaksradio@gmail.com. We are the #1 podcast for the culture, and this week we're out. Peace.
And the next one.
They won?
Yes.
Okay, for sure.